Alright folks, welcome back to Premium Fuel Magazine. Today on the 5.0 powered MX 5.0 Miata build, we're going to be putting the 8.8 rear end in the car. Before that, we're going to go ahead and assemble the axles, and I'm going to show you what exactly is going into that and how we're able to essentially make an entire Mustang driveline fit into the Miata. Alright guys, so if you've been following along with the build, you've seen my other two videos where I actually took a Ford 8.8 and I adapted the Miata rear subframe to fit the Ford 8.8. So that's already done. That's with the car right now. Next up, what we actually had to do is take the Cobra axles that go with that 8.8 and shorten them. So before I go any further, I want to say that there's basically nothing better out there to do any kind of swap with other than a Ford 8.8. It's one of the strongest diffs that you can get. It's a reasonable price, and all around, you know, everything is, it's just super strong. You're most likely not going to break it if you're running a reasonable amount of power. I have to say that I'm not really super happy with this setup just because of what it cost me. I could have done this a lot cheaper if I had used all E36 parts. With the E36, you don't have to buy any special parts. You don't have to get anything special made except maybe the hubs, which I'm not even going to get into. But this whole thing can be done a lot cheaper if you just use E36 parts. Unfortunately, I didn't learn this until basically I had the axles already done. So I've got a really nice setup, and that's just how it is. So anyways, what we've got here and what's different is the axles. I had to get shorter axles. So these are the Cobra axles, and I think these are like 19.5 inches. I had to get 18-inch axle shafts, specially made, and these were done by Dutchman. If you're going to be doing the same swap, I believe you can buy the complete axle kit from Monster Miata for lots of money. Or you can get them made for lots of money. So pick your poison, it's up to you. I got them made. So these are 18-inch axle shafts. I would like to have gotten the Cobra axle shafts actually modified and shortened because Dutchman actually does that, but unfortunately you see how thick these are in the middle. They said it wasn't actually possible to mill these down and reinstall the splines on them. The only axles that you can use if you're actually going to do that is the Super Coupe Thunderbird axles. If you use a regular V8 Thunderbird axle, it's not going to do it. Only the Super Coupe Thunderbird axles are able to get shortened, and that's the cheapest option you're going to have. So good luck finding those. Even though these axles are thinner, they're actually stronger than those, which is cool. These are made out of a special kind of metal, which I'll put on the bottom of the screen, but these are actually stronger than chromoly steel. So I've got some pretty beefy axles here, which will never break because most likely the CV joints will explode long before the axles break. So I'll go ahead and show you exactly what we've got here. These ends go towards the differential side. These are called your tulips because they kind of look like a tulip, I guess, if you squint your eyes. These are my tripod bearings, and these fit inside the tulip. They slide onto the end of the axle shaft. These, of course, are my CV boots. Over here, we have an Audi CV boot because this is shorter. In comparison, the other side of the CV boot actually looks almost identical to this. It just doesn't have the lobes on the inside, but it's too big. If you look at the profile on the CV boots, the strut actually comes in this area right here, so you need that smaller CV boot in order to make this work on the Miata. So we've got our Audi CV boot, and then we have the wheel side with the CV joint, and that's held in by ball bearings. Why there's two different designs on each side, I don't really know. I don't design axles, but that's typical of this style of axle. So that's what all of that stuff looks like. So and of course you've got your different retaining clips and stuff here and pins. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap one of these axles together, and then I will show you what it looks like to put the other axle together. got our conversion axles freshly assembled. We're gonna head to Thomas's house. We're here at Thomas's house. Thomas in the background over there.
What's up, guys?
Putting tires on, so we're gonna have fresh tires on the Miata today. The Miata is up on the lift. We've got front wheels, back wheels. We've got rear end. Getting ready to put in the car. And yeah, a lot of moving parts going on, so we're just gonna go ahead and get to work. All right, so we're getting ready to drop the rear end out. We've got everything mostly prepped. I went ahead and cut the e-brake cables just because we're not gonna be using the cable e-brake. There are 6 bolts holding this entire rear end in. One there, one there, one there, and the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna get one person on each side, and I'm gonna unscrew these things, and it's gonna come down. Alright guys, the new rear end is assembled, and we're going to get ready to slap this thing back into the car. Alright guys, and once again, I finished up another work day without wrapping up the video. So I apologize for that. Sometimes you get sidetracked. But I'll just take this as a moment to ask you guys, what do you think of the new style of video that I've been doing throughout the Mustang build? I was extremely technical and detailed as to what I was doing every day on the build. And I just don't feel like there's a need for me to recover a lot of that stuff. I'm using all the stuff that I used before as I build this car. And obviously, if I find out anything new and interesting that I want to share, I'll definitely share it with you guys. But I'm pretty much just trying to keep things super light, take you guys through the process, pretty much just to see the progress of this car getting done. So let me know if you like the new style of video. Pretty much to wrap this thing out, the car is on the ground. It's a whole car once again. The next thing up is to get the drive shaft measured, and then we can actually start getting into the small details. So that's going to be it for this video, and we'll catch you guys next time.